Hello friends, welcome back to another video for Value Vintage Cards. Wanted to take a little bit of time today and kind of explore differently. I always like it to look at how people collect, and one of the things that I have found interest in, especially more so recently, is just looking at all the different international and global distribution and options that are out there. So all the different sets, all the different languages, all the different countries of origin, because that definitely creates an opportunity for like scarcity and just things you've never seen. And I do collect beyond the big, what I call the big three growing up was baseball, football, basketball. And then I guess hockey more so has become a little more mainstream. And then, globally, obviously there's soccer. And then there's also just these unique little offshoot kind of issues of celebrities and alternative sports and different things that are out there. So I thought I'd just share some of that today. I find it interesting, so maybe a few of you collect that way as well. And if not, maybe it's just an opportunity to be introduced to something different. So I'll start off with easy, easy peasy. When I think of, what does a US card look like? You can get something more US based than something that's called US caramel. I showed this set the other day with baseball players, but they also have like presidential issues. So what's more American than Thomas Jefferson? Right up on the back, this one earned its mark because somebody initialed it. But super cool, gives a little bio of them. Fairly small set. I know the Lincoln and the Washington are the big dollar ones, but Jefferson was pretty affordable. Still super scarce and tough to find, but I was happy to pick that up. So that's a good US based card. Sticking close, something else we see a lot of, especially with naming all those big sports, Canada being our neighbor, and their version of a national sport for sure would be hockey. So I chose Bobby Orr as my representative. That's when you research hockey, not only great players, but great humans. Bobby Orr tends to be very, very high on that list, if not number one. So I've got a few of his autographs. I think I have his whole player run at this point, which is not easy because his rookie is not cheap. But I was able to add that and pretty happy. And I always joke this is just kind of the classic Canadian card because they've got the two languages always. So, US based English bias. We see the English version and we also see the French. So Canada having kind of the equal population. So it's the American, collector in us would appreciate there being English, and then the true Canadian having the two languages. So I always love Canadian cards because you do get to see kind of the two languages in most instances. O-Peachies and then oddball things like that have autographs are super cool. Another card I've showed recently, sticking on our continent at least. So 77 Topps Mexican. So it's the second year for Mr. Walter Payton. I have shown this card before, but cards from Mexico, fairly scarce. It's the only one I have in that set. I was checking out some others. I wouldn't mind like a Staubach or something like that, but based on pricing and availability and how often they come up, I may be really just happy to have Walter Payton for the rest of my life and call that good. So that's a win. Glad to have Payton in the collection. But that covers Mexico. Heading on down to Venezuela. Got a whole bunch of these, and I just figured this would be an easy one since it was out. It's kind of in my debating, should I have it graded or not? I mean, it's got the little clip corner. It's actually a pretty clean version. The Venezuelan cards typically were put into albums, so there's a lot of glue residue, paper loss, paper stuck on the back, different options. Obviously that's one. I would love to be able to read the back of all my cards that I have, but I cannot. Took a little bit of French in high school, but that hasn't stuck. So that's not going to help me on this card either. But super cool images. A lot of them use classic images from the players' playing days, especially in the Reiterato set. The Whitey Ford's a little bit different and unique, so I thought that was a cool example of what a Venezuelan card might look like. Next up, I had to go with a stamp, but I've got a Brazil version of Pele. I've picked up a few Pele items lately. Growing up, it is a true stamp. So the back is made to be licked and put on an envelope. So that will not happen with this one. But growing up, if you asked me what I knew about soccer, I would say no one I knew played it. I clearly wasn't very good at it. And Pele. That was kind of all I knew about soccer. So as I went to college and roomed with a couple of soccer players over the years, I got to learn a little bit more. I'd always razz them and stuff, and I'm sure they would do the same thing because they found baseball boring because they didn't understand the sport. So I'd always walk in and say, "What's the score? 1-0?" And they'd tell me to shut up and leave. But soccer, amazing, and kind of getting that global coverage and well-rounded collection. I thought I should at least add some Pele and maybe some Messi cards, things like that, just to have a nice, well-rounded collection. All right, so jumping over, I'm going to head to Europe. We'll head to Germany. I'm going to show a couple of classic German cards. Not sure which one to show first. I'll show this one. What the heck? So my daughter actually saw this card and she came in and she goes, "Dad, I didn't know that Albert Einstein played football." I don't know how she played football of all things, but he did not, as far as I know. But super cool, just to kind of, again, get outside of the realm of traditional, big 4 or 5 sports. It's a 1928 Albert Einstein. It is from Germany. This one's in a 1 grade, although I don't know how close I can get that thing so you guys can see. I thought for a 1, that was really nice. Reverse, of course, you're going to expect to see German. I've got some friends that are German, so maybe I'll see if they can tell me what that means and what that says exactly, but all the different labelings and logos and stuff, and the write-up, but super cool image. That's definitely not the most scarce card in the world. If you go on eBay, you'll see a few of those available right now, but kind of neat. The other one, I think, is actually, if you just talk images, it's one of my favorite images on a card. And it just kind of gets outside of the norm for me. It's a 1936 issue. So it's a German issue, but kind of a tribute to everything, kind of international, and in this case, U.S. with Jesse Owens. But what a cool image. Again, not super expensive, not something that would be impossible to find. But you take a look at the front and back of that thing. I think that is just such a amazing. I think it's just the way it's done. Not a photo, but looks very lifelike. The colors are just so vibrant and amazing, and it's a 2. So I didn't pay enormous dollars to get some kind of 8 or 9 impossible to find, and that's a pretty low grade card. When I look at it, I don't know. Is that one of the world's nicest 2s? I don't know what makes that a 2. To say, hold that thing up. I don't know. Whatever. I'll take it. We'll call that a pretty 2 and be happy with that. Next, I will jump over to Belgium. I had to do some research on this. I've got a few from this set. This set actually has sports stars, celebrities, musicians. So I think I have 3 or 4 from this set, actually. But figured I'd pick this. Just different. I actually like Frank Sinatra a lot. Wedding Song is Frank Sinatra, so thought that'd be a cool pickup. That's one my wife will actually appreciate. Most of the sports stuff she's not quite as into. She appreciates it, respects it, and kind of lets me have my time and do my thing and have a hobby. But Sinatra's one that she would actually like. And graded a 4, so it's actually a very clean copy, I feel like, for a 1969. That's from Belgium, so it covers yet another country. So let's jump to Italy. Italy actually had quite a few choices. Italy seems like it's one that you can find a lot of different options to. And this is one I just recently picked up, so I thought it was neat. I will share this. Clearly not active era, playing days. Thorpe did everything. Olympic athlete, baseball, football, played basketball, did barnstorming, official leagues. He was everything. golf. I'm sure he'd whoop you at volleyball. Just amazing athlete. And so again, if you watch more than 2 of my videos, you're going to notice I say a lot of the same things. I love cool images. That's not an image you see all the time. So that's kind of neat and unique. Super vibrant, really cool colors. And I love the fact it's not Jim Thorpe, it's James Thorpe. It's, just feels official. I feel like he's in 3rd grade getting called on or something. So the James Thorpe thing just kind of pushed it over the edge for me. So I figured that was one I wanted to add to the collection and have among my items. Only a couple more. So we'll go 10 countries on this one. I'm sure I have more somewhere buried in there. I just didn't find them as I was picking through. Next one is from UK. It's another US prominent figure from 1987. So I don't know if that jumps out of the vintage, but I figure for international, I'll break some rules and cheat a little bit. But that's a UK issue Tyson. Not big dollars. He's got a couple international ones that are definitely some big dollars just prior to this, but 1987, still definitely early. And again, growing up, you would have said, name a boxer. I would have got Ali, Tyson, probably Foreman. There was definitely some big names. Sugar Ray, somebody, Leonard Robinson. There's definitely some big names. And I would have probably known a few historicals, but if you said name your top 2, I probably would have had to go exactly with Tyson and Ali, because those were the 2 that I knew by far the most. That's just a cool image. Watching him on Sports Center and whatnot in the 80s and 90s, it was kind of not would he win, but how fast, and would the other guy have a chance at all. Last one is super modern, 2013. Player still playing, which I never do, and this almost came crashing down on us this year with all the scandal stuff, but I think he came out unscathed. Leave opinions to where they are. I hope he truly is the good person we see in public, but I figure with all the different issues, I started diving and saying, like, what else is out there? So found a Japanese issue of Shohei. So it looks like he's pitching in that one. It says rookie. This was an investment. Not crazy. Thankfully when they're super modern, if I would have got that at a 10, I'd be talking big dollar, higher end of my collection. But as an 8, it was relatively affordable. Not lunch money, but definitely not car money either. So that's good. But back is cool, and obviously you get yet another language, so the exposure to all those different languages and all the different types of cards that you can find out there. I just think it's super cool to have that well-rounded collection, some international. It's almost like hedging your investments. Will Frank Sinatra go up in value? Will Jesse Owens go up in value? I don't know. As long as they maintain stability and are a fun place to hide a few dollars. I think the kind of the diversity of things is fun, just like you invest in stocks and you diversify. Having a well-rounded collection into different sports, a little, showed an autograph, showed 10 different countries, some presidents, some celebrities, boxers, soccer, a little bit of everything. So I think it's fun. If you know any other sets that are international, I probably do have 2 or 3 more somewhere. If I truly dug through, I'm sure I'd find something. Maybe another Pele card was from a country I didn't realize, but I tried to do a little bit of research and be as accurate as I could. But if you know anything else that would be a cool addition, I'm always open. I love some of the Olympic athletes and some of those unique issues. So let me know what you got. I would appreciate comments down below to maybe inform me and help educate me and point me in a new direction. So hopefully that's fun. I will see you guys next time, and maybe we'll talk more international cards. I don't know. We'll see. Definitely back to vintage. Have a good one. Take care.